The most challenging part of this job is the fact that it's busy. You know, child abuse reports never stop coming in. And we are constantly out trying to assess the safety of children and do our paperwork, and it does get to be a lot sometimes.
The most challenging part would be just when I have families that are frustrated just with the system, don't always understand it, and I try to work with them and just really talk them through it. I know it's difficult at times, and a lot of the times the system, it doesn't always make sense, but the system is the system, so.
The most challenging part of my job is I'm a single mother of 3 kids. I have 3 very energetic boys, and so for me, that is a very challenging part of my job, because my job every day is to go out and make sure other kids are safe. And at the same time, in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, but are my kids safe? When I'm on call, I have to make sure that they have appropriate supervision so I can go out and make sure that someone else's child is safe. You know, so that for me is one of the hardest things, is to know that there are days when I'm on call or I go out on a case and I have to pick my kids up, but then I have to call my backup, or they have a program at school and I have to miss it because I'm stuck on a case. So that for me is the hardest thing. But my kids, they love my job as much as I do, and they're proud of the fact that their mom helps people.
The most challenging is to prevent yourself from getting burned out, because you can say that, you know, I'm not going to take this case home with me, or I'm not going to think about it, but it's very difficult when you're dealing with people's lives. How can you say, hey, I'm going to go out there, and for example, a domestic violence situation, kids are involved, and I'm going to just automatically turn that off my brain when I go home. I'm going to continue to think about, hey, did I do everything that I could in the initial contact with this family to make sure that everybody is safe in the home, the kids are safe, we're not going to have another incident until we can make sure that additional resources and services are in the home. So that is the most challenging, is just kind of trying to shut your brain off to not think about, you know, what you did do or didn't do and what you can do moving forward, which creates burnout.
So the most rewarding part of my work is when you meet a family. We always meet families at the worst part of their life. So when we are able to give them services and help them to get out of the worst part and to see them succeed, that's probably the best part of our job. So an example of that is, you know, a family that is struggling, they have financial issues, and so it kind of creates tension between the parents, and, you know, there's arguing and stuff. So if you can get in there, help them find jobs or whatever, and that kind of relieves that stress, and so it just relieves the stress off the whole family, and then they get to succeed from there.
Again, making that connection between a parents or a family unit and a resource that's much needed in the home. So that's the most rewarding thing for me.
The most rewarding part of my work is getting to work with families, building that relationship with them, and really seeing how far foster children have come from the very beginning of them being placed in a home. Just seeing those success stories of whether it be reunification or adoption or whatever the permanency goal may be, that has been the most rewarding part of my job.
The most rewarding part of this job is to take hold of a family who believed that their situation was hopeless, and then giving them hope through linking them with community partners, services, resources to help them understand and educate them that, hey, there is a resource, there is a service for you and your family. We can strengthen your household and help you out. So that's the rewarding part. And a lot of times at the end of my role in their investigation, they don't think that, you know, or feel the hope that comes along with it. However, once services are implemented and begin working in the house, then sometimes they'll give me a call back and say, hey, thank you for helping us.
We just have the opportunity to make a change in someone's life. And, you know, there's that changing moment in your investigation when you're talking and you realize, you know, this isn't neglect, this woman needs help. This mom is asking for help, she's screaming for it. And I realized that immediately, you know, the fact that she had been through the system herself and she was just trying to care for her child and for herself. I recognized her needs, and I recognized that this isn't about, you know, investigating the neglect necessarily. This is about trying to help her improve her life for her child. I was able to get her into a local program around the area for 6 months, and she and the baby are better than they've ever been. So that's, you know, to think that I helped this mom and this child out to hopefully, you know, not ever see them back in the system again is just an amazing thought to have.
The most rewarding part of my work is when a child has been removed from a bad environment and a child is placed in a foster home that's safe, and foster parents sends us pictures, and you know, it brings tears to your eyes sometimes. And also when you have a challenging teenager and you have to convince the foster parent that, you know, child may look bad on record, but please give him a chance, give her a chance. And then you see that child grow with the family and finishes high school, and it's very, you know, makes me feel happy. What's successful to me for a child is having the child stay in one family or one group home and try from there and finishes high school.
One thing I would like to see changed is more services for our families, our children, and not only for our foster families, but our bio families, our relatives, non-relatives, our parents, just more wraparound services to really help them, to really mend the family, to really bring the family together.
What I would like to see changed in our industry is if we could streamline the referral process. So for example, if I have a parent who is misusing substances, and I have multiple agencies that I can potentially contact, if we could have one referral to then shoot out to multiple agencies, that would help us because it would save a lot of time. So now I don't have to fill out the application or referral or a different referral for multiple different agencies. It should just be one referral. I know that we contract out our case management services. Now, if we can begin to devise better ways of holding them accountable for the production that they do with the families after we turn the cases over, that would be awesome. That would certainly help.
One thing I would like to see change in my industry as a social worker is find ways to keep case managers. I think they're very important to have the same case manager with the same child for a long time, because their relationship, you know, is very important. A case manager is very important for a child. Turnover is very high, and the kids are already confused, and then you see a new case manager, next week there's a new one, 2 weeks later. So relationship matters, you know, to all of us, especially children who are already traumatized.